I'm Dwight Drummond. Tonight, hundreds of protesters and counter-protesters face off outside the Thornhill Synagogue.
We're here because this synagogue is selling Palestinian land.
This is an intimidation just by their presence here, by yelling and saying that we're committing genocide.
Police are keeping a watchful eye on the two groups. We will take you live to the scene. Plus,
the accused is a Sri Lankan national who is believed to have been in Canada as a student.
A 19-year-old is facing 6 counts of first-degree murder after 2 adults and 4 children are killed in an Ottawa area home. And
March 7th is the earliest I've ever been out in Ontario, and this is spectacular. Course is in good shape.
This winter's record warmth means some Ontario golf courses have already opened for the season. Thanks for joining us. A real estate event happening this hour at a Thornhill Synagogue has drawn hundreds of protesters and counter-protesters. Organizers are calling the event inside the synagogue the Great Israeli Real Estate Event. It advertises the sale of land in Israel and the West Bank. Dale Manuknuk is at the protest. And Dale, please take us through what is happening there behind you.
Yeah, Dwight, it's a very lively protest and counter-protest. I'm sure you could hear the music behind me if I could describe it. It's almost festive in nature, but both sides of this protest and counter-protest, Dwight, they both have multiple loudspeakers. They both have megaphones. They are addressing their supporters, addressing the opposite sides. At the heart of this protest is the sale of Palestinian land, Dwight, that the Canadian government says is illegally occupied by Israel. Hundreds of Palestinian protesters and allies stood across the street from the Bayat Synagogue to protest a real estate event.
We are here to protest against the genocidal and illegal sales of stolen Palestinian land to further illegal Israeli settlements. Until we reject Zionism, it will continue to eat up and swallow Palestinian land.
The synagogue, which is renting space to the real estate event, put a call out to its community to counter-protest.
For a group of protesters to show up at a house of worship, I would never show up at a mosque if I felt something illegal like funding terrorist groups was being done by a mosque. I have too much respect for a house of prayer.
The landing page advertising the event lists 13 areas where real estate can be purchased. 3 of those areas are within the West Bank. Canada does not recognize permanent Israeli control over territories occupied in 1967 and opposes illegal settlement outposts in the West Bank.
The state of Israel disagrees with Canada and other members of the international community and feels that it has the right to sell those properties. The properties that are being sold are in established Jewish communities.
The synagogue and some supporters called the protest unlawful, saying it was causing fear and disturbing the peace. Police were on site to maintain order, but some were unhappy with the job they were doing.
They're not maintaining the peace. We're maintaining the peace. Me and the thousands of other people that took a day off work drove down here to be part of the wall of humanity.
I urge them, if they were pro-humanity and pro-justice, then they should be on our side, making sure that their places of worship are not used as cover to further hate and divide and further these illegal activities.
Dwight, things seem pretty peaceful now, but it did get intense a little bit early on. I want to show you some video that our cameras captured earlier. We did see some people be detained by police, and they were put into police cruisers. We have spoken with York Regional Police, who say multiple arrests were made. We don't know if they were Palestinian supporters or Israeli supporters, but we do know it happened on both sides of the street, Dwight. Now, the protesters here, they say they're going to stay until the real estate event is completely shut down. They want the federal government to not allow any sale of land in the West Bank to happen here in Canada. Dwight?
Thank you for this, Dale.